What is going on, everyone? This is Canadian Yorker here, and I am back with another recap live stream. So this live stream, I'm sorry, I apologize to everyone. I was gonna do this live stream on the New York Jets, and it's been a week since I last said that. Since my last live stream. So I'm coming on today, and in this live stream, we're going to be recapping week 1 to week 5 on the New York Jets season. And oh boy, what a lot of things we have to talk about today. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot to discuss. It's been a wild season so thus far, and we have many things to go over. First of all, I just want to mention that I am very upset. I'm upset. This is a growing thing. I'm going to be probably raising my voice and yelling because I'm expressing how frustrated I am with the way the season has gone. With this brand new staff. We got a brand new staff. We still maybe have the same team, but oh my goodness, we are absolutely doing terrible this season. Absolutely terrible. I just want to start this off, everyone. We are the boot licking, bottom of the barrel team in the NFL right now. We are 0-5 right now. It's going to be we're in for a long season, everyone. We are very in for a long season. And I gotta say, we have 12 more games to go this season. If we go 0-17 for the season, the Detroit Lions went 0-17 for the season, man, it's going to be a long season. It already is a long season. I can already express that. Um, but oh my goodness, what is going on with this team? How in the world did it get this bad, everybody? How did it get this bad? It makes it when I look at the Instagram of the New York Jets, they make it seem so cool. Oh, we got cool new jerseys. We got a whole new team. We got a brand new head coach. We have so many great things that we are doing, and yet this season we absolutely stink. We absolutely stink at the bottom of the barrel. I don't understand how in the world are we this bad. How? Just does not make any sense at all. I just want to start off from week 1 to week 5. We are now in the middle of week 5 right now. From week 1. We actually had a pretty good start to the season in week 1. We faced the Steelers. Week 1, we lost. It was a heartbreaking loss to the Steelers. Aaron Rodgers got the best of us in this game. And I just want to say this. In week 1, the Steelers beat us 34-32. And I'll give the Steelers their props. They beat us, okay? They beat us. They scored 34 points in that game. We scored 32 points in that game. I think that's the highest score we've ever had. We actually showed that we are competitive in the game. We actually did pretty well. Looking at the stats, Aaron Rodgers had 4 touchdowns, threw for 244 yards, passing yards. Justin Fields had 1 touchdown, threw for 218 yards. Jalen Warren had 37 yards rushing. Breece Hall had 107 yards rushing. The Steelers had DK Metcalf now. He had 83 receiving yards. Garrett Wilson had 1 touchdown, 95 receiving yards. Looking for more of the player stats here. Man, I mean, what can I say, guys? It has been frustrating, but I'm just going over the overview. I'm just reviewing everything for the first game of the season. We had a pretty soul-crushing, heartbreaking loss to the Steelers in that game, but we gave it our all. Okay, that's great, wonderful. Let's go on to the next game. I'm gonna go on to the next game. I apologize for that. I'm going back to where I was before. I'm going to the standings again. Let's go over the second game that we played for the season. In the second game, we played the Buffalo Bills. Did I expect us to actually beat the Buffalo Bills? No, I did not expect us to beat the Buffalo Bills, and we got whooped. We got walloped and whooped, completely destroyed by the Buffalo Bills in that game, and they whooped us. They whooped us good. Okay, we played the Buffalo Bills. We lost 30-10. The Bills beat us in this game. I expected that nonetheless. I did not expect us to win against the Bills because the Bills are the tougher team, and they beat us. Okay, the Bills got 10 points in the first quarter, 10 points in the second quarter, 20 points, so up 20-3 on us. They got 3 points in the third quarter, 7 points in the fourth quarter, equaling the score 30-10. Just looking at the box score, again, I'm looking at it again. Here we go. At total yards, the Bills had Garrett. The Bills had. I'm trying to find the correct one. Apologize for that. So I'm trying to find out what the stats are in this game. I'm just gonna go to our box score. I apologize. So according to our box score, the total net yards was 403 yards. The Bills had 403 yards, and we had 154. We had 5 penalties. The Bills had 6 penalties. Time possession for the Bills was 38 minutes, and we had 21 minutes for time of possession. Jared Allen threw for 148 passing yards, had no interceptions, no touchdowns. Mitchell Trubisky, 32 passing yards, and no interceptions, no touchdowns. Tyrod Taylor threw one touchdown. He threw for 56 yards. Justin Fields threw for 27 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. Jared Cook had 2 touchdowns on us in rushing. E. Moore had 1 touchdown for 6 yards. Obviously, the Bills just destroyed us in this game, 30-10. So we are 0-2 already for the season. In week 2, it's just. Was I expecting us to actually win against the Bills? No, not exactly. It didn't. It kind of went the way I expected it to go. Now we lost to the Bills. Okay, I can take that loss. I can take it. I'll take it. I'll admit it. It was not. It is what it is. In honesty. Next up, we have. I'm just trying to get the standings right. I'm trying to go back to the schedule. I apologize, guys. There we go. Schedule. Did I expect us to actually win against the Bills? No. I did not. In the next game we played in week 3, we played I believe it was the Dolphins, or because I think this week we played the Cowboys. This week, let's go into the schedule again. Okay, that's it. We played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Again, one other winnable game. We played the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 3. I'm actually liking this. I'm liking how I'm seeing the team improve. It seems like every game we're losing. We actually are losing games that we should win against the opponents that we should beat. But when it comes to the tougher teams, we're actually struggling in some of them. So we played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, in week 3, and we lost again, heartbreakingly, to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in this game. We actually did pretty well in this game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We got 3 points in the first quarter, 17 points in the second quarter. So we were up 20-3 on the Buccaneers. We got 3 more points in the fourth quarter, in the third quarter. So we did really well. We did really well in the first 3 quarters of the game, and then in the fourth quarter, it completely collapsed for us in the fourth quarter, where we just kicked the bucket, and we only got 6 points in the fourth quarter, and we lost the game, unfortunately, in this, in this game. So I'm just kind of looking at the stats here. We should honestly be 1-4 right now for the season, not 0-5. The fact that we're 0-5 is absolutely terrible. Tyrod Taylor had 2 touchdowns in this game, threw for 197 yards. He didn't play in this game. Justin Fields was out with a concussion in the previous game, so he wasn't available to play. So I can understand that. And the fact that we have concussion is a big problem in the NFL. That's a problem that still is being addressed from time to time. We played better in this game than we played against the Bills. So Tyrod Taylor led us to 2 touchdowns in this game. Breece Hall had 30 rushing yards. Tyrod Taylor had 48 rushing yards. Breece Hall again ran for 21 yards. Garrett Wilson had 84 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. And Aaron Lazard had 13 receiving yards, 1 touchdown in this game. So we did pretty well. Baker Mayfield threw for 233 yards, had 1 touchdown in this game. So, we were doing really well against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 3, but we lost another nail biter. We lost another nail biter to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in week 3. Going on to week 4, we played against our division rival, the Miami Dolphins. Now, we played the Dolphins. I should be expecting us to win against the Dolphins at home, because we nearly beat the Buccaneers. We nearly beat the Dolphins. Actually, the Dolphins got the best of us in this game. We lost by a touchdown, 21-27 in this game. So, despite the fact that we have a losing season, we are having a losing season this season. We actually are staying competitive in this game against some of the better teams, I should say. But in this game, this is a competitive game. Going by the box score, we got 3 points in the first quarter, 7 points in the second quarter. We got 10-3 already in the first half. Second half, we got 14 points in the third quarter, 24 points right there, and another 3 right there. So that already means we have 21 points already in total. The Dolphins, however, they managed to get 27 points and get the win on us at home. And so we fall to 0-4 for the season in week 4. The Dolphins are already 1-3 for the season. This is just a fact that we are struggling to find our identity as a team. Is tough. This is just part of the process that I'm seeing us, go through as the organization, as fans. It kind of sucks. It sucks to see that we're 0-5 for the season already. This is just bad. We already have total net yards, 404 total net yards. 13 penalties were recorded against us in this game. So we already have 13 penalties already. This penalties killed us. They just robbed us of the win. The Miami Dolphins had 200 net yards, 6 penalties, only 6 penalties. They didn't have as many penalties as us. Justin Fields once again he had 226 passing yards, 1 touchdown. That's great. Breece Hall had 81 receiving yards, no touchdowns. Justin Fields, 81 rushing yards, one touchdown. So Justin Fields led us to a touchdown in this game. Garrett Wilson had one touchdown in this game and 82 receiving yards. So, so we are making progress thus far. For the Dolphins, Tua Tagovailoa had two touchdowns in this game and 177 passing yards. So, man, this is just a tough way to start the season, guys. I gotta say, it's just really frustrating that we fall to 0-4 for the season. This is not good. This is not good. We have a rookie head coach, and he's making all the mistakes that has to be made in his first year as a head coach of the New York Jets. Last but not least, we played the Dolphins, and we get blown out by the Dolphins. Absolutely blown out by the Dolphins. We played the Dallas Cowboys. We played the Dallas Cowboys yesterday at home. We lose to the Dallas Cowboys 22-37. Obviously, because the Dallas Cowboys do not have Michael Parsons anymore, I think we're honestly underestimating the Dallas Cowboys here, because these guys are already 2-2 for the season. They tied in their last game against the Packers. The Dallas Cowboys are actually showing themselves to be somewhat of a still versatile team. They're still pretty talented. And they got the win against us in week 5. They completely blow us out of the building. We got blown out of our own building. We actually tied up the Dallas Cowboys at 3-3 in this, in the first quarter. In the second quarter, the Dallas Cowboys completely exploded against us. They got 20 points on us in the second quarter. Meanwhile, we got nothing in the second quarter. The third quarter, the Dallas Cowboys got another touchdown on us, and in the fourth quarter, they got another touchdown on us. So we only got 3 points in the third and fourth, 3 points in the third quarter, and 16 points in the fourth quarter. We just rushed. We hurried to get 16 points in the fourth quarter. So we got 22-37. That's the final score. Oh man, we are absolutely doing terrible. We're absolutely terrible. We cannot seem to get a win if we try to. This is just bad. This is bad, guys. The Dallas Cowboys. So we have Dak Prescott, threw for 237 yards, 4 touchdowns. Threw for 4 touchdowns against us in this game. Justin Fields had 283 passing yards. He had 2 touchdowns in this game. Brees Hall had 114 rushing yards. Justin Fields had 26 rushing yards, no touchdowns. Davis had 5 yards, no touchdowns. Dak Prescott had 28 rushing yards. Jay Williams had 135 rushing yards, 1 touchdown. So, looking at the stats, I'm looking at the stats. Garrett Wilson, our main number 1 offensive threat, only got 71 receiving yards, 1 touchdown. So he got a touchdown on the Cowboys, and so that's good. But other than that, we were not able to really capitalize out. Our other receiver, A. Beck, had 1 touchdown for us in this game. 1 yard, 1 touchdown receiving. But the Cowboys really blew us out. A number of their players had more than 1 touchdown. So Jay Ferguson had 2 touchdowns. George Pickens is now on the Cowboys. Oh my goodness. George Pickens is on the Cowboys. And he got 1 touchdown along with Jay Williams. I can't believe George Pickens is on the Cowboys, guys. No wonder they got touchdowns on us. No wonder George Pickens from the Pittsburgh Steelers got touchdowns on us. Well, what can I expect? Wow. That's tough, guys. The Cowboys are insane. They have an insane amount of talent, and it kind of makes, and now it makes sense. It makes sense why the Cowboys won against us, because they have more talent. They have a better roster. We have a pretty good team, but we're not able to compete with their firepower. We got overwhelmed in Week 5 Sunday yesterday. So, what else do we have to say? I'm just gonna kind of go over these articles here. Jets have hit rock bottom, and Aaron Glenn might go down with them. And this article is from the JetPress.com. That's what we have right here. It says here, some way, somehow, the New York Jets have managed to dig deeper than rock bottom. The scoreboard in MetLife Stadium, 37 to 22, barely captures the scale of this embarrassment. What unfolded against the Dallas Cowboys in Week 5 was football at its most lifeless, a full system meltdown that defied logic, effort, and explanation. The Jets are disintegrating before our very eyes with every passing week, and Aaron Glenn is becoming the lightning rod. Aaron Glenn was hired to restore order and respectability to the franchise. 5 games in, his team looks unrecognizable, a lifeless shell of what it was supposed to be. There is no discipline, there is no energy, there is no hope. At 0-5, the Jets are spiraling towards something darker than another lost season. This is an organizational freefall, a historic unraveling that threatens to take Aaron Glenn down with it. The idea that Aaron Glenn could be one and done head coach seemed unthinkable just a few weeks ago. Aaron Glenn was widely seen as one of the top head coach candidates on the market. He's a franchise legend who returned home to fix the broken culture of his former team. The Jets believed Aaron Glenn's presence alone could stabilize a fractured locker room and restore credibility to a team that spent decades residing in the NFL's basement. Instead, everything he has brought in to repair has only deepened. The discipline he has preached has vanished. The defense he built around his reputation on is a mess. The fight and identity that made him such an appealing hire have evaporated under the weight of weekly humiliation. What was supposed to be a homecoming revival is veering towards a nightmare, and if something doesn't change fast, Glenn's tenure might end before it even truly begins. It shouldn't be this bad. Every statistic and analytic paints the picture of a Jets team that should at least be competitive in every football game. The Jets entered Week 5 in the top 7 of both offensive and defensive success rate. They forced the second most 3-and-outs of any team in the NFL, and yet when you watch the actual games, it feels like a cruel illusion. There's no rhythm, no urgency, no belief. But it should be a gritty, competitive football team. I almost said basketball there for a second. Sorry. What should be a gritty, competitive football team has turned into an recurring nightmare. The Jets are the first team in the NFL history to start the season 0-5 with 0 takeaways. Aaron Glenn is the first coach in Jets history to begin his career with an 0-5 start. It's difficult to envision a scenario in which Glenn is fired after just one season with the Jets, but we are approaching a point where the conversation can't be avoided anymore, where the idea of moving on after one disastrous year starts to feel reactionary and more inevitable. How do we reach this point? How can a coach with a reputation for discipline watch his team unravel so publicly? How does this preparation fail so completely? And how does this effort disappear in plain sight? How did optimism turn into disbelief and belief into resignation? At what point does patience become complicity in historical incompetence? Those are questions the Jets will have to answer sooner rather than anyone could have anticipated. I really like that question. That question pretty much sums up the epitome of this season. We still have 12 more seasons, 12 more games, or 13 more games. We have 18 games to this season. That question, I want the Jets to put that question in the locker room and question, why are they here? Why do you believe you are here? At what point does patience become complicity in historical incompetence? every single season is historical incompetence for the Jets. Why is this so? Why is this historical incompetence? Why? Why is this every single season? Why are we relegated to the basement of the NFL season every season? It just does not make any sense at all. Everyone does not make any sense. It defies logic. I like the point of this reporter here really nailed the hit the nail on the head here. That question is very good question. Let's continue this article. That's the end of the article. The article from Justin Freed. Justin Freed, you hit the nail on the head, guy. What else can I say? Going off this article from October 6th today, this morning at 7:40 a.m. This article just came out like 4 hours ago. Jets players. This article is from JetsXFactor.com. Jets players sound off on Aaron Glenn coaching staff after blowout. Aaron Glenn made history with his 0-5 record with the New York Jets, and his players have spoke up about their rookie head coach. Winning kills all. That's the reality of across NFL circles. A coach and quarterback's legacies are directly tied to how they often win. If a coach brings a winning pedigree, the rest of his roster will follow suit in believing in his leadership. A coach with a losing pedigree, though, is in a much different situation. As the losses pile up, it's hard to keep a locker room of more than 60 men focused on the good of the team and the organization. Greater coaches are able to win consistently, but also keep the locker room together when things go poorly. For the New York Jets head coach Aaron Glenn, he's in a different type of situation. Following the Jets' 37-22 blowout loss to the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday, New York Jets coaching staff has come under fire. Glenn's team is an 0-5 in the regular season, the first coach in Jets history to fail to win any of his first 5 games to begin a career. Despite the lack of results, Aaron Glenn has found a way to stay positive. The rest of the locker room is following suit. Rich Kotite, Adam Gase, and Lou Holtz are just of the few leaders in the team's history whose tenures collapsed early in the process. While the Jets have been outplayed and outcoached. Despite that reality, Aaron Glenn is confident that his message isn't being tuned out. Aaron Glenn said, quote unquote, when you guys talk to him, they say the same things we say in our team meetings, Aaron Glenn said after Sunday's loss to Dallas. It's going to take time, fellas. I'm not throwing any of those guys out. The only thing we can do is go back to work, and that's what we have to do. Quote unquote. The article continues, it isn't a good look for Glenn and to have an answer questions about whether he still has the pulse of the Jets locker room. But it's also a fair question to ask. New York crumbled late in the 2024 season with Robert Saleh and later Jeff Ulbrich leading the charge. Aaron Glenn's comments are a reminder that it's still too far early to determine whether he is the right man to turn the Jets around. The good news for the 53-year-old is that the young leaders continue to have his back. Jets wide receiver Garrett Wilson said, I still have faith that we're going to be better going forward. I still feel like we are building something in that locker room leading up to the Sundays every week. We aren't coming out winning the games on Sundays, which isn't okay, but the foundation is there, and we're going to keep building on this thing. Garrett Wilson was part of the Jets group of Jets players who had grown verbally and physically frustrated over the losing he experienced last season. The fact that at 0-5 he remains as even-keeled as the team could hope for, and it's evidence that Glenn's message continues to ring true. Coaching staff questions. Just because the Jets continue to back the head coach, it doesn't mean he's off the hook. And Glenn took the head coaching job with the promise of building a team that New York would be proud of. At 0-5, the organization hasn't lived up to that goal. In the eyes of some fans and analysts, Aaron Glenn may be safe, but changes must be made, whether it's defensive play calling for a unit that gave up more than 300 yards of offense in the first half alone Sunday, or roster adjustments on the fly. New York is expecting more proactiveness from Glenn. There's a reason for the young coach's mindset. though his past experience is part of why the team won't be making any coaching changes, not at least not yet. Aaron Glenn says, quote unquote, I always go back to my first year in Detroit where we struggled on defense too. And Glenn said, our head coach had a lot of confidence in me making sure we get it right, and I feel exactly the same way. I have a lot of confidence in Steve Wilks. He's done a lot of great things in this league as a defensive coordinator. I'm going to allow him to do his job. Aaron Glenn has used his experience in Detroit and other stops around the league to inform his views on whether switching play calls actually works. In some cases it can galvanize a team, in others it may come off as a rash reaction to losing. A move made yet just to say something was done. The Jets know Glenn is a firm believer in trust. Players have to trust the staff to put them in a position to succeed. Coaches have to trust players to execute the game plan. Right now there's disconnect on both sides. New York shouldn't be 0-5 if that were the case. Instead of panicking, though, and Aaron Glenn remains calm as he was when he took the head coaching job in January. He hopes that approach, along with continued instruction, will be enough to finally turn things around in Florham Park. What an article. So this article, it's offering some humanity. We're offering looking at the humanity of the situation. Looking at the human side of it. Yes, it's frustrating. I gotta admit. Looking at the season, we're 0-5 for the season. I would say that this is probably not Aaron Glenn's first rodeo. Seeing that he was with Detroit for some of the seasons, and he went through the hardships of seeing a team go 0-5, not win anything at all, and really struggle to get wins against some top tier teams. Obviously, yeah, and what Aaron Glenn said is correct. We do need to trust the process. We have to trust our players. We have to trust the coaching staff. We cannot just make rash decisions on the fly and allow our emotions to get the best of us and make emotional decisions, because sometimes those things may not be the best. And Aaron Glenn knows what he's doing. Obviously, we have Steve Wilks, who's our defensive coordinator. Aaron Glenn is the head coach. Obviously, we have to let the team gel, work together. We just have to really just push through this season. Just be optimistic for as much as possible. I do believe we can definitely turn things around, but it is extremely hard to see us lose every single season. We are 0-5. We just cannot get any wins for the life of ourselves. It's a tough loss after tough loss. But I definitely like to see the improvement with each of our players on the offense and on the defense. We are doing, despite the fact that we are losing, we are showing our improvements here and there in little ways. So that's great to see coming off from this season. Obviously, we'll have to see what's going to happen. I just want to go to the last article here before I share my thoughts on what's going to happen with the Jets going forward. So here we have it. This is an article talking, with a response from Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson responded on his experience thus far and what he is trying to work with the Jets. Work with building a amazing franchise. So, reading here, this article is from October 5th, 2025, just yesterday, because today is October 6th. So, Garrett Wilson didn't know what I was getting into with the new Jets regime growing pains. So, we're definitely seeing some growing pains here in this. And this is from the New York Post. So, continuing here, it says Garrett Wilson will miss the playoffs for the fourth straight season until under his second head coach. Garrett Wilson said, quote unquote, no one expected this. He said after the Jets lost 37-22 to the Cowboys. This was my first time going through a full staff change, and I can't say I knew what I was getting into as far as the growing pains that come with it. I'm not gonna sit here and say this is what new coaches go through, new staffs, but I have that faith that we're gonna be better for it. I feel like we are building something that the locker room leading up to Sundays every week. We're not winning the games on Sundays, which isn't okay, but the foundation is there, and we're gonna keep building upon this thing, quote unquote. That's what Garrett Wilson said. Garrett Wilson also said it's not about just executing when you need it most. That's what this thing comes down to. This is about us as well, us as players, being at our best when our best is required, and that's got to be the mindset. You don't know what the play is. It is that's going to be turning the game around, so you got to make all of them, quote unquote. The article continues saying the 0-5 Jets make hardly any of them. Garrett Wilson said, continuing, if my best reps are on Thursday, that doesn't help us in a way, if that makes sense. I gotta be at my best on Sunday. We gotta be at our best on Sunday, and it's not a disconnect in what we're coaching and what we're preaching. The opportunities are there. We gotta, as players, be better at executing, doing what we're asked to do, and then maybe every now and then, when that time comes, doing a little bit more to help your teammate out. Wilson also said, continuing in this interview, I don't know when that's going to take shape, but it's going to. We're being coached the right way, and we're going about it the right way during the week. But you have no chance on Sunday if you don't prep during the week. The process is there. We got to be at our best on Sunday. Garrett Wilson already has 6 receptions, 71 yards, 1 touchdown, was a veritable afterthought for most of the afternoon. That's the stat that he recorded on Sunday. When asked about Glenn's message was afterward, the receiver said, quote unquote, it's 80% stuff that we're gonna watch on film and be like, alright, but that other 20% stuff is catastrophic. That's not how you win games. It's stuff that we're preaching. Like I set up here and said week after week, it's the stuff that we're preaching all week. And with that it comes on the players to go out there and do it. And then Garrett Wilson said, I take it upon myself, and other guys feel the same. So it says here, the article says, teams at 0-5 past Jets teams have fractured. Garrett Wilson said, we're going to have to play with this thing through all 17 with the utmost faith in your teammate, faith in your coaches, and see where that puts us. Garrett Wilson also said, no one guaranteed us winning coming into the season. We got to put our head down and keep working. We got a new staff, and we're being coached right. We're being taught right, and the scheme's good. It's our job to go out there and keep these dudes around for good. So there we have it, everyone. From Garrett Wilson himself. Garrett Wilson is supporting Aaron Glenn. Aaron Glenn is preaching the same thing that he's always preaching. You know, you gotta stay focused. You gotta stay focused on the game. Just do what you have to do. Keep doing your job. Aaron Glenn is gonna keep doing his job. So is Steve Wilkes gonna keep doing his job. What else can I say? This is a tough season. We have a really tough season. We have 12 more games to go for the NFL season. I would love to see us get some wins for the next game. And I know in the next game we are playing the let me just go to the schedule. We played the Cowboys already. I believe we're playing some other teams. Let's just be honest, guys. Like I said in my other live stream video when I did the recap, when I did the preseason game, I said I was expecting us. It's not going to be an easy season. We have a very tough season. Let's be honest about that. Week 5, we played the Cowboys. I at least expected us to get some wins against some of these teams, but we have just lost heartbreakingly. We executed. We're doing our thing, and sometimes some of these games are just not going our way. So week 6, we're playing the Denver Broncos, then we're playing the Carolina Panthers in week 7, then we're playing the Cincinnati Bengals in week 8. And some of these teams they're winning on the road. Some of them are struggling as well, but they still have wins. And if we can get some wins against these other teams, I think the Carolina Panthers the Denver Broncos are doing better than us. You know, it's not easy. The NFL is not an easy game to play. It's not an easy sport to play in. And these guys play professionally. What else can you expect? Right now we're in the bottom of the bunker. We're in the bottom of the barrel of the NFL. And if we win the next 5 games, we'll be at 500, which is great. And if we could get ourselves out of this hole that we're in, we could really improve our, make it, ability to make it into the playoffs. That would be wonderful. But it's still a long season ahead of us. Aaron Glenn, definitely. I don't like the fact that I just want to make this point that before the NFL season even started, Aaron Glenn thought that, oh, we're gonna make the playoffs. We're gonna go to the Super Bowl this year. That is obviously the highest goal that we want to attain as Jets fans. We want to make it to the Super Bowl. We want to win the Super Bowl. We want to get to that point. But to get to that point, I think it was wrong of Aaron Glenn to actually say we want to make it to the playoffs. We want to make it to the Super Bowl this year. I would have been satisfied if we actually made it to the playoffs this year. That would have been great. That would have been really wonderful because that shows how impressive we have just turned our franchise around. But at the same time, now that we're experiencing this, reality hits us, smacks us in the face. We're being smacked in the face every single game we get. We got to keep working. We got to keep improving. We got to keep executing, plays offensively and defensively in order to get wins. Obviously, this is a journey. This is a marathon. This is not all sunshine and roses. And I mean, and Aaron Glenn played with he was coaching with the Detroit Lions, so he knows what it's like to suffer with the team. You're going through the growing pains of turning from a losing franchise into a winning franchise. He has been there. He knows what that process is like. Obviously, we're going to be in this for the long haul. This is not going to be. This is no cakewalk. This is no cakewalk. I don't think as Jets fans we just need to be humble. We gotta humble ourselves. We gotta say, okay, if we're gonna actually win games and actually win the Super Bowl, we gotta be realistic. We gotta be pragmatic. We cannot be proud of ourselves. I mean, we already have a Super Bowl win, but that was 60, 70 years ago when we last won our last Super Bowl. I mean, when I look at the other teams in the league, I'm not comparing. I'm not going to compare. But when I see the Kansas City Chiefs, they won 2 or 3 championships already. They almost won a 3rd championship, but they got stopped. So, but they also the Kansas City Chiefs already won 3 championships already. And for the most part, if the Kansas City Chiefs can turn themselves around and become a successful franchise, let's just say we cannot do the same. We can also become a successful franchise. The Cincinnati Bengals made it to the Super Bowl, and they are, they're still trying to fight their way and get into the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. They could win the Super Bowl. The Philadelphia Eagles are now a successful franchise, and they have just been on the rise for some time. They have a great franchise. If these teams were known as the bottom of the barrel back in the day, these teams were the bottom of the barrel back in the day. They also experienced the growing pains of switching from a losing franchise to a winning franchise. And the most successful franchises like the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Dallas Cowboys, these franchises have always been winning franchises. But as of late, the Dallas Cowboys haven't really won a championship, NFL and Super Bowl championship since the 1996. So it's been 30 years since they last won their last championship. It's been some time, quite a while. The New England Patriots, of course, because of Tom Brady, they already have their 6 championships, so they're set. It's just. Here's what I think, guys. We we have a long season ahead of us. Let's not get full of ourselves. Obviously, if we get a win, hey, that's great. I love getting wins. I love us getting wins. I would love for us to continue getting wins. If we get more, if we're able to continue getting wins across the board, that would really help us out. But I cannot. It's obviously going to take be a while before we start winning and having a successful program, because we haven't had a successful football program and a successful football team in so long. It's been 15 years since our last time is in the playoffs, and that's just a tough act to follow with that. So I hope to see the progression going forward. Definitely want to see more competitiveness between the I want to see more fire. We have to play with a chip on our shoulder. We got to show people that we're not to be messed with, and we can definitely do that. We have the potential to do that. So what else can be done? What else can be done? Just like that article, that question at the end of the article, that is just perfectly timed it. What are we going to do about the historical incompetence of the Jets? The Jets have been incompetent for the past 50, 60 years. Been like that long time. We have just been seriously that incompetent for that long. That's just a long time. That's a long time. And I probably will be talking to you guys more and more, and just, I'm gonna be talking with you guys and just explaining to you, about why this has been. And something's got to change. Something's got to change, and change is coming. It's coming slowly but surely. The Jets are gonna turn this around. We're gonna figure things out. We just need the time to do it. Aaron Glenn is the head coach. I definitely believe Aaron Glenn, despite the fact that we are struggling extremely right now, Aaron Glenn is helping us to see I believe we're just using this season to see what are some things that are going wrong, and what can we do to fix these issues that we're having for the next season, so we can be better in the next season. And as we continue to work on doing what we have to do to studying the way our offenses and defenses work for other teams, we can definitely get wins against those teams because we know how to play against them. So this is not going to be. We're in for a long season, everyone. A very long season. We just have to hold on tight and brace for impact. That's all I can say. Just brace for impact, guys. Be realistic. I'm just being realistic right now. If we get wins, that's wonderful. But I want to see continued progress. We got to keep pushing hard. We got to keep working hard, and we're gonna see success eventually. So that will be a wonderful thing to see going forward. So I know I've rambled on a lot about what's going on with the Jets, and I just wanted to come on here. I'm saying I'm very frustrated. I am very frustrated with how things are going this season, and we're playing competitive. We're playing competitive football. We're actually doing okay. We're doing okay. We just need to win. We need to get some wins. We had some ability to get wins. We almost nearly beat the Steelers, nearly beat the Buccaneers, nearly beat the Dolphins, but we just got swept by the Dallas Cowboys, of course, and we got swept by the Buffalo Bills. So, in all honesty, we should be at least 3-2 for the season. At least, if we have 3 wins and 2 losses, that's not bad. That is not bad for us as Jets fans. I can live with that. If we're 3-2 for the season, but the fact that we're 0-5 for the season, the thing is, things don't just don't go your way. That's just the reality of it, guys. I'm gonna have to end it right here. I'll come back in the next, with a recap for the next 3 games. I'd like to recap for 3 games. So I know I'm a little bit overboard, but I just did week 1 to week 5 recap, and we have a long season ahead of us. 12 more games to go until the NFL season wraps up. And we have the ability to turn this around. We can get wins against the Broncos. I know we've played against the Broncos before, and we lost to the Broncos last game at home. I mean, when we played them, and we also played the Panthers, but I think we lost to the Panthers, or the Panthers beat us. I can't quite remember. Um, but these are two teams that we could definitely stack up against and get wins against going forward. But it's a long season. I'm just being realistic. I don't know what we don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen. I can't predict the future. You know, it is what it is. So we just have to just have faith. Yeah, Wilson said have faith. We just gotta have faith in these guys. Have faith in our team. Have faith in the coaches, and we're gonna see things turn around this season. I would love to see things turn around and for us to get wins and start, just study the films, look at what the other teams are doing, make counters for those things they're doing, and just keep improving. That's basically, it's just like real life. It's like real life in honesty. Um, Real life is just like football. Sometimes you got things that knock you down. You got things that holding you back. You got things that just life throws you a curveball. And sometimes it's okay to take a step back, look at things, review things, study things, and then come back and attack it from a different angle. Use a different type of strategy. It is what it is. That's just life. So it is what it is, guys. It's 0-5. We're 0-5 for the season. That's just the way it is. I'm gonna come back with another video, live stream video. I'm talking about our improvement as the season progresses. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream for the New York Jets. Enjoy the rest of the day and the week. The week just started, so enjoy the rest of the week, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream.